What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Espresso. Welcome back. It's that time of the week now where we do another breakdown, in-depth, whatever you want to call it. This week, we're going to be doing the M27-IAR LMG. Now, this week, I decided to go out of my comfort zone and do this weapon. I'm not much of an LMG user, and I'm not much of the type that likes bulky weapons, but this weapon surprised me in some cases and didn't in others. So, let's jump right into the breakdown. Starting off with some quick notes, this LMG isn't very mobile, the movement is very limited, and it's very bulky, but the iron sights are one of the few guns in Ghost that I don't tremendously mind. They're fairly easy to use, and you don't really need to rely on an optic, unlike other guns in Ghosts. As for the damage, it is a 48 to 32 depending on your range. That will equal a 3 to 5 shot kill, which makes it the second highest damage, second only to the melee in Ghosts. Now, as for damage multipliers, this is one that kind of surprised me. The only damage multiplier is to the head, which is a 1.4 multiplier. Everything else is a standard 1.0, and everything will count as the same. Now, the range of this weapon is a 3-shot kill range of 24 meters, dropping off all the way to the 5-shot kill range, 41 meters and higher. For its comparable stats, it has the best damage/range ratio, and with a muzzle brake, it'll give it an extra 5 to 10 meters depending on where you're shooting at. Now, that being said, it doesn't make it the most optimal weapon for long range. The close to long range are usually a mistake in the gunfights that you want to choose. Medium range is the optimal range for this weapon. The magazine size is a standard 100 rounds for LMGs. The only difference in the LMG category is the chainsaw, which is an 80-shot belt, but it goes all the way up to 150 with extended mag, so that is always a nice addition to the gun to have. And with that amount of shots, it is way more than enough to spray a few enemies down or hold down a certain position if you're trying to be that Rambo-style player. Now, the rate of fire of this weapon is 705 RPM, which is the second lowest of all LMGs. The lowest is the melee again, but the recoil properties of this gun plus the rate of fire equals some stable shots. For the most part, it is easy to handle in a lot of situations, especially those where you're holding down the fort and just picking your shot carefully. The reload speeds make this like every other LMG, where you're going to most likely need some cover to reload. With an empty reload speed of 5.63 seconds, a full reload speed of 4.76 seconds, and a cancel of 3.5 seconds, use those how you want. I would definitely suggest trying to take cover, especially if you're taking on multiple enemies at once. You can get in some very sticky situations if you have to reload this, which honestly you shouldn't have to every so often. With 100 to 150 shots, that is a lot of ammo to conserve and shoot at your enemies, but when that time comes, I would suggest being around some cover or having a teammate cover you, laying down fire while you reload your weapon. Now, the ADS speed of the M27 is a 0.35 second ADS time, which is a standard for LMGs and very good in all honesty when you think about it, because assault rifles have an ADS speed of 0.30 seconds, so you're off by 0.05 of a second to having the same ADS time as a much more versatile type of gun. Obviously, quick draw and or ready up will help you out in situations that you need to be even quicker, but not by much. Now, with my episode last week on the Honey Badger, I talked a little bit about the center speed. I think I'm going to incorporate this in every single in-depth to come, but the center speed of this is the second lowest center speed of all the LMGs. Number 1 being the chainsaw, which it hip fires, so I'm not entirely sure if you can count that. Number 2 is the LSAT. Number 3 being our M27-IAR, and number 4 the melee. Now, the recoil is one of those things that is always tough to gauge in some weapons. This one is labeled as a moderate recoil, but with grip, it feels like a low. Without it, it has its moments where it can feel like it's labeled as a moderate, but also a high recoil weapon. Now, the one thing that if you want stability with this LMG, I would highly recommend not using a zooming optic. For those asking why, it really messes with the recoil properties of this gun, so I would use it at your discretion. If you have a standard red dot, it doesn't, but if you have something zoomed in, it will make it feel like a much higher recoil weapon. While shooting, the recoil is going to pull your gun northwest in area of your shot. The pull stats are an up of 46, a left of -52, a right of 40, and a down of -30. So if you can control that, you're golden. So that's your stats for the M27-IAR. Now we're going to close out with things to run and my personal preference. The things to run, I would definitely suggest foregrip. It has an occasional spot of where it will be a beast of recoil, so it's better to tame that while you can. An optic, you don't really need need to run one, but me personally liking the optics, a red dot sight or something would be absolutely perfect for this. Again, don't really trust the zooming optics because they do mess with the recoil properties of this gun. Steady aim is always something you want to run with something that is a high caliber weapon. The recoil will vary, but with steady aim, it will allow you to control that a little more. Muzzle brake will increase your damage at range just a tad, and sleight of hand, it can have sticky situations while reloading, so it's always nice to be able to quicken that a little bit. Now, my personal preference, like I said, I went out of my comfort zone to test this one and get gameplay for it and all that, get used to the gun itself, but if you're into LMGs, I would say go for it. Personally, I'm not a huge fan. This is the first of my in-depth series, but it got me some high kill games, but for the average gamer, I don't think that it would be that big of a help. Like I said earlier, the movement is very bulky and minimalistic, so if you like to camp, then I guess this could be a perfect weapon for you, but if not and you like moving around, I wouldn't suggest running it. That's been my time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name's been Recoil Espresso. If you're on my channel, go check out Carnage Clan. If you're on Carnage, please come check out my channel down in the description below. Carnage, I challenge you guys to get 300 likes for the 4th straight week. That would be absolutely awesome. So if you did like the video at all, drop a like down below. Any shares to your Facebook, Twitter, and or MySpace for your OG like that are always greatly appreciated. Be sure to subscribe for the best of Call of Duty Ghost content, both on my channel and Carnage. I have a ton of stuff coming to you guys, like I always say. That's been my time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for watching again. As always, I hope you guys are having a great day. I shall see you guys later. Take care and peace.
Yeah.